All right. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you. And thank you for joining us for what we're calling our penultimate episode for the
Yeah.
2021-2022 school year season. And I would like to give a special shout out, real quick, to the Lemony Snicket series of important events books, because I did not know what penultimate meant until I read the penultimate novel in that series. Thank you for making me more well read, Lemony Snicket. So, I am your host with the most, Kelvin Patrick, here, bringing you all the information you didn't even know you needed revolving around Swivl Strategies. Joining me, as always, are my two wonderful hosts and colleagues, Oksana and Vince. Oksana, Vince, how have things been going for you this week?
Hi, Kelvin. It's pretty busy, but it's nice. It seems that the spring is coming to its end, and the summer is knocking on the door because it's becoming like hotter and hotter here. But everything is good. Thank you for asking.
No problem. I'm right there with you. I was amazed today. I was like, you know what? I actually have to have the fan on already
Oh,
at 9 o'clock in the morning because it's hot. So,
Yeah.
whew, summer is here. Yes.
mhm.
Yeah, for sure. Calvin, by the way, the word penultimate, I learned the way I learned that is by watching soccer because they always talk about like the penultimate match, like something like that. So
Ah,
it's just I had to look it up too. So, it's
And
pretty
now that you
bad.
mentioned it, I actually have heard that used in
Yeah,
soccer matches.
yeah. So anyway, yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, trying to stay busy as usual, and uh, looking forward to next week when we get to talk about tips for ending the year. It's going to be kind of cool. So if you're joining us today, we'll talk about some tips on how to end the year with your Swivl robot and teams and how to like store it and all that stuff. So a lot of tips for you. So join us next week as well. Come.
Excellent. Yes, next week is going to be a doozy. But before we get to next week, we got to get through this one first.
Mm-hmm.
And today, we are going to be talking about the Swivel strategy extending faculty discussions. So, we're
Yeah.
going to talk about faculty meetings and all the fun things that are involved in that. And how can the Swivel robot here, along with the Teams platform, help to enhance those meetings for you? So,
I was
without,
question to you,
oh,
Kelvin, Vince. When you used to work at schools, how often did you use? Did you have those faculty meetings?
That
Hard to
yeah,
tell.
we'd have them probably once or twice a quarter, maybe depending on like what was going on. So usually you would have one at the beginning. I know right after, for example, holiday Christmas break,
Uh-huh.
we usually have a large one. We'd have one like midterm, and then towards the end of the year, like to finish up, how are we going to strategize to finish the school year and stuff.
Mhm.
But there were smaller ones in between too. But like large faculty gatherings were usually like about two or three. I don't know about you, Kelvin.
yeah, for me, my experience is a little bit different. We would have those large ones typically about once a month. Usually
Yeah,
we'd get
maybe it was once a
together.
month. I don't remember. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
and those were crazy because it would be once a month, usually before school, more often than not, and very rarely we would have some after school, but typically they were mostly before school, which we'll get into. But yeah, those are kind of interesting. They give you a lot of information first thing in the morning before you get ready to prepare for your class. So there is
Right.
that. Yes.
It was my next question to you guys. Thinking back to those times, would you like to have the recordings of those meetings to watch them sometime later to play them back on, or it wasn't like worth it? What do you think?
I would say for me, depending on the meeting, but more often than not, I would say yes,
Yeah.
because it would have been very beneficial. I'm one of those people. I like to say that I'm cursed with the of not having the ability to be able to listen
Uh huh.
well and take notes on things, because if I'm doing one or the other, I'm going to miss something. And so I have to actually listen attentively to make sure, and then try to remember at the end, jotting down some things after either each section or at the end of the meeting itself. So having the video would have been nice for me.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, especially because sometimes when you're in a faculty meeting, you're kind of having like, I mean, not that you want to have side conversations, but you do have side conversations sometimes with like your colleagues, or hey, what's going on in your class right now, and you'll miss something that they talked about. So it would have been nice to been able to go back and watch some of those videos of
Or
faculty.
some important information that you wanna listen again, is just to digest it well, right?
Yeah.
So Teams by Swivl could have been beneficial, right?
Yeah, definitely. I wish I did know about it back then when I was teaching. But by the way, like some people might not even know that, but we were all former educators, and Oksana, you're still teaching a little bit, right? So yeah, so just we're not just kind of like talking about we actually were teachers here. So
We're not making this stuff up as we go. No,
Yeah.
not at all.
If anyone's new watching, just let you know. Yeah.
There is a method to our madness. I promise you. But Oksana, you definitely raised a very interesting point, because kind of going into like our first question for the day, how is a faculty meeting follow-up handled? For my experience, it's really well. Let me kind of take a step back real quick here. So I'm pretty sure we've all had those faculty meetings where we attend, they give us information, and then there's some sort of follow-up that needs to happen. So those next steps, basically homework. They want us to maybe do something in class, make that observation, and bring that information back so we can discuss at the next meeting, which again, for me, is, like I mentioned, typically was a month in each between one for the next, right? So what would end up happening, honestly, is, okay, we have the faculty meeting. They give us our homework essentially for what to do next. And it's usually maybe a minute or two, if we're lucky, before the bell rings. So, get back to class. I was already there setting up, and I was like, oh, shoot, I didn't get to finish. So I'm finishing setting up, let my students in, greeting them, and then getting started with my day. Needless to say, whatever happened that morning at that meeting has since left my brain. I may be in the minority in that, but for me, that's what typically happens. And usually, we might get that reminder like the day before. Oh, don't forget to make sure you bring X, Y, and Z to the faculty meeting tomorrow. And then be like, oh, shoot, I didn't do any of that stuff because life gets in the way, right? You forget, and now I'm like, I don't even remember what it was that we were supposed to be doing in the first place. So like, I'm scrambling to try to figure this out and have something. And then it's kind of one of those things too, where you have that feeling that some of your students may get, where it's like, okay, as long as they don't call me, don't call me, don't call me, don't call me. Like, I don't even know if I've done this right. So
feeling like a real student.
Exactly. So that's kind of been from time to time, I've had that experience happen, and it's again very fair to say that a number of my teaching friends have experienced that as well, because again, there's so much that goes on, as you both know, and everyone listening knows as well, in your day, that this is just one part of it. And to be perfectly honest, it's not a very significant or important part of what you really need to do, because the focus and the onus is obviously going to be on your class and teaching and your lessons and with the students. Not to say that what they want isn't important. It's just like, oh, I got bigger fish to fry in this moment.
Yeah. Especially right now, like when you have faculty meetings, to like, let's say you're almost at the end of the year, or you're just past testing periods and having faculty meetings, it's really hard to concentrate as a teacher because you're just kind of worried about all the other stuff that you got going on, like parents and prepping the kids, and oh, I got to send out this email to remind them. One thing that I really liked about my old school that I was working at, we had follow-up emails by the whoever was running the faculty meeting at the time. So we'd have a follow-up email with like bullet points of what we talked about, and then if there was a presentation, they would attach it to the email. So it was pretty useful. It would have been nice to have a video, but yeah, it was a good little follow-up. So at least you're reminded. I can go back to it later on to kind of remind yourself of what happened during that faculty meeting. So yeah.
Yes, that agenda would be key. So that's definitely very beneficial. So so that actually segue nicely into the Swivl strategy that we're focusing on today, extending those faculty discussions. So before we get into the why would you want to do this type of thing, we're going to go ahead and look at the how, as we ought to do, right? So I'm going to share my screen here. And this, for those of you maybe have been following and listening along recently, is our Educators Hub. We'll make sure to include this link in the chat as well as on the video on our social media pages. So if you're one of our, rewatchers, you'll have that information there as well. So with the Educators Hub, it's going to be broken down into a couple of different sections. We have our how-to section here where it will take us to our YouTube channel and you can watch our how-to YouTube videos. We have, oh yeah, very, very good part there. A lot of work goes into So we have our type here where you can, to help kind of break it down and, what you're looking for. So by blog, case studies, Swivl startup, webinars, or strategies. And then you can also do it by products as well. So typically I just would recommend you just maybe leave it on all products. That way it's you can make sure that you're getting everything either for Teams by Swivl or Teams for the robot as well. So if I, for example, go to Swivl Strategies, it's going to just bring up all the Swivl strategies that we have here. Okay. And then all you would have to do next is, as you're looking through, read the description. You see what category it is, so Swivl strategy, and then which tool it goes with. And then you just click on download. And then it will download a PDF copy of said strategy. Okay. And in this case, we are working with extending faculty discussions. So I'm not going to obviously read you word for word everything step by step of what this breaks down into. I'll obviously give you the gist of what it would look like in an actual practical meeting. But the one thing that we are proud of is, again, helping to save time for the educators that are looking at our strategies, and by making them be no longer than a page. So all of our strategies, the main strategies, will just be a one pager, but there may be supporting documents or tools or printables that goes along with it. So you're not having to reinvent the wheel. Okay. But again, the strategy itself will always just be that one page. So with extending faculty discussions, this is going to be where either administrator or someone who's going to be leading that faculty discussion or PD or meeting, whatever the case may be, and are going to be including something in there that they want to make sure that the participants are going to know. Okay, so you want to make sure that you have your Swivl robot set up ahead of time so you don't have to do it during the meeting. This could either be done by the person, the facilitator who is conducting the meeting, or maybe the media specialist or whoever, another coach, or even a teacher can just set that up for you ahead of time. But you would, again, just record the meeting, making sure that you're getting the information just like you would within your classroom, right? You can utilize the Swivl marker itself to bookmark parts of that recording that you are doing. So, for example, let's say that I'm talking about classroom management, and I'm introducing a new caking strategy that we are wanting the entire faculty to try out, right? I can actually hit the up arrow on my marker, and it's going to bookmark that part of the video, so my recording. And as I go through each step, I can hit the up or down arrow again to add another bookmark. This is going to be important later for when you're done with your video and it's been uploaded to your account. You can actually go back in and look at that video, and then for each one of those bookmarks, you can add your timestamp comments in. So, for example, the first one could be the name of the strategy. This is going to be the beginning of where I'm talking about X strategy. And then the other bookmarks can be step 1 and step 2 and so forth, or any other information that you would like to add there as well. This is nice because when you share that video out to the faculty, they'll be able to see each one of those timestamp comments that you already bookmarked. And after they watch the video through, if they need to go back and look at specific sections, it makes it easier for them. Now, the follow-up also comes in that after they watch this video, they could ask questions. So that, as I alluded earlier, one of the things that I tended to sort of struggle with is, in addition to not being able to take notes, but to go back and actually do what was required or requested of me. So I would be able to submit those questions from within the video itself of those comments, or things that I'm trying or done in my class, or any reflection piece that needs to be added. I can add it there as well, along with the other members of the faculty that are also a part of this as well. So everyone would be there, and it can be a true learning community because we are all growing and learning with each other. So when we have that next faculty meeting, some of those highlights of those important parts can be mentioned and discussed further. So we're not necessarily taking up the time to kind of just hash out, okay, what did you write, Mr. Patrick? All right, what about you? And just kind of going through and then coming to a consensus that way. So again, it just helps to save time, again, building that collaborative piece directly into what was asked of you. And so that is, of course, just the overall gist of the extended faculty discussions strategy. Vince, Oksana, anything that I might have forgotten, which is probably likely.
No, but I really loved your idea, and I want to emphasize this again, bookmarks, using bookmarking, because it's really that simple, but it could save time a lot to all the people using it, watching the video back. So just pressing the arrows on the marker, you could bookmark the most important moments. Yeah, what the teachers need to pay attention to, what they need not to forget, to remember. Yeah, so just main points of the meeting, like not to rewatch like an hour and a half meeting and trying to think where was the main information mentioned. So really bookmark, and please try using it, because it really could help a lot. And speaking about the long videos, long meetings, again, you don't need to keep and to share like the whole video. We have the tools that help to trim the video, the beginning or the end of it, or cut the main episode. So if you again want to save your teacher's time, you could just cut the episodes. This is the episode where I'm describing the the new activities that should be implemented. Yeah, this is our strategy, this is something like that. And only these 5, 7, 12 minutes videos could be posted and shared with the teachers. So again, they don't need to spend time trying to find the exact information in the whole meeting. Just the main information could be mentioned there.
Excellent. Yes. Thank you for that, Oksana. Anything, Vince?
Yeah. So first off, if you're watching, if you have any questions, let us know. Type them in the chat. We'd be happy to answer any questions, even if it's not about this. It could be about something else. We can answer it. We can also highlight your comments, so you'll be able to see yourself here. So please, also I put some links in the chat, how to bookmark. We have some great articles that our product experts have created. Please check those out if you need any help. We also have some videos on the YouTube page that have information about how to bookmark. So please check that out as well. In terms of what Oksana was saying is that you could like edit it on the Teams by Swivl platform. You can edit those. You can add comments. There's so many things you can do. I don't know, Kelvin, do you think we should show them the platform to see how it looks? Or, I mean, I could show that a little bit too. I already have my little screen here.
Sure.
Yeah.
That is fine.
Just real quick, like, so they can see how it looks. So, well, that's a weird view. Wow, okay. I don't know what's going on here. That's the first time this has happened. So, here we go. Here we go, everyone. It's, hold on. It's not going to let me because it's not letting me share it. So just give me a second and I'll get that. So I'll get that loaded up for you.
No, not a problem. So while Vince is doing that, I just wanted to say, yes, I'm definitely agree. That you can pull out those sections. So it's not even the entire faculty meeting that needs to be shared. So if the onus is just going to be on, hey, this is what we would like for them to do next time, you can even just, as Oksana had mentioned, trim and cut the other portions out and just have that one piece still with the timestamp comments, so they'll be able to see, and the faculty will still be able to add those their timestamp comments as well to provide that feedback or things that they're working or maybe asking more questions on. So again, this is the main idea of this, is to be truly collaborative. And it's also going to help to save time because it's going to be more streamlined. And then when you do meet again, you're going to be able just to focus on those highlights instead of trying to put everything together to get to those highlights. Yeah. All right. So you got it now, Vince, or?
No, I don't know why, but it doesn't want to let me share for some reason. I was just sharing right now and it was working fine. So but yeah, I don't know if anybody else wants to show like just a quick video, like how on our library, maybe if you can. If not, then we could just show the help center. But
sure.
So if anyone has any questions, let us know. We'd be happy to answer them for you. Okay, so yeah, you can see here. This is the team sign in page. You can just sign in with your account, right? And then Kelvin can show you how this looks here. This is the admin portal, so you might not see that depending on your account. But yeah, so just jump in like whatever video, Kelvin, like you can just maybe your practice video or something, and you can.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. So this is just one of my practice videos here, and as you can see, I just want to point out, this is what we're talking about with the bookmarking or using those timestamp comments. So I have timestamp comments, and these are just regular timestamp comments that I've added after the fact because there's no indication of a marker here. The timestamp or the bookmarks are actually going to have, again, either the star or the light bulb where you can have, and it will say primary or secondary marker above it, as you can see here. If it's a secondary marker, it'd also be indicated by the color dot to let you know which marker it was. But again, so you can make these either the bookmarks with either your primary or secondary markers, and then you can add timestamp comments after the fact as well. So that's, again, what that will look like here. So this is the video that you've done. And to go ahead and share that out, you would more than likely and again, depending on how it's set up, will share to a group, and the group will probably be the entire school. So maybe it's, you work at Duckburg Elementary, right? You can just see the Duckburg Elementary group there, share it to everyone. Everyone that's a part of that group will see your video. And so they would have access to that. And then they would, again, be able to see your bookmarks or timestamp comments, and they would be able to add their own as well. So again, that's kind of what it will look like on the platform itself.
Yeah, and maybe Kelvin would recommend to have a separate group, created for those meetings, not to get messed up with other videos that could be shared to the teachers, just to have them to be kept in one folder, in one group, and to just everybody will know that there they could find previous meetings or the most important part of those meetings, right?
Correct. So yes, I definitely agree with that. So you could come here to groups within your account and just add a new group. And this group could be, Doug Berg faculty meetings, right?
Yeah,
So
all
all of your
faculty.
faculty meeting videos.
Faculty meetings and academic year like 2021, 2023, right? Like that.
That way you'll know that all the videos for that year are there. And the great thing about this is that you have unlimited storage. So you can put as many videos within the platform itself. So it is going to be nice, especially for someone to, kind of see that transition from year to year and just to see if there's been progress made or, like, okay, we did talk about this 2 years ago and we're still kind of not there. So I can look at this, maybe rework some things, and we'll do it again to get the desired outcome that I'm looking for. So that would be how you could create a group as well. So again, highly recommended, and for definitely for all of your videos, but it will be essential for the Swivl Strategy extending faculty discussions. Excellent.
Yeah, and one more thing, Kelvin, is like, you can record the video if you're with the Swivl robot, of course, if you have one and you have it set up just like Kelvin does right there. But another thing you can do is if you don't have the Swivl robot, you can still record it by just downloading the app and put it on your mobile device, your iPhone or your Android device. You can still record with that, and then it will upload. You don't need to have the Swivl robot necessarily. So you can still take part and use all these functions without. You can even do it from your computer. Just use your laptop camera by clicking Add New Project right there, and then you can do a screen recording or a webcam recording. So if you don't have your robot, you can still use all these functions in Teams. And if you're a teacher, you could even do this for your lessons. So there's a lot of things you can do in this platform. So.
Definitely, yes. Which again is very nice. Thing that we recommend, obviously, is that you practice, play around with it, trial and error. Don't be afraid to take chances, make some mistakes, and get messy. I guess in the immortal words of Miss Frizzle from Magic School Bus, right? So words that we all should be able to live by.
And if you're not sure what to do or what is the next step, how to ensure that everything is fine, just reach out to us and we'll be happy to assist.
Yes. So with that being said, it actually takes us to kind of wrap up here. We would definitely recommend that, as Oksana mentioned, if you do have any of those questions, please feel free to visit us at swivl.com/setup. You can find out more information there. We do have our weekly Q&A sessions where we talk about any and everything Swivl related. So as I love to say, if you don't know how to turn the robot on, don't know where the cords go, or, okay, what's the marker again? That's a great place to come to get that help for that as well. You can also follow us on all of our wonderful social media, such as Instagram, which is going to be @GoSwivl. YouTube is going to be youtube.com/Swivl. Please make sure that you like and subscribe when you're following us, and hit that bell icon for notifications so you'll be able to always be up to date with all of our postings and offerings or videos that we have uploaded.
We're on the road to 1,000. So I'm on the road to 1,000. So
yes,
we're going to
there. And so again, next week will be our final Swivl and Beyond session for the school year. And we'll have more information about that next week and when we'll be coming back and starting up again. But hopefully you can join us next week, Wednesday on May 25th, where we'll be talking about end of the year setup or breakdown strategies for your Swivl robot and the Teams platform. If you do need any further assistance, please visit our product experts at support@swivl.com. And with that being said, thanks for watching us and joining us today on the penultimate edition of the Swivl and Beyond session for the 2021-2022 school year. Thank you all so much. Take care, and we'll see you next time.
Sayonara.
Bye.